Hello there. I'm meaning to do this video for a while now about a simple solution to repairing the transmission on a Murray lawnmower. This is a hydrostatic transmission, and they're in the Murray, Westwood, Mountfield, MTD, and many more lawnmowers. So this is a simple solution to fixing these, because what they do is they wear, the shaft wears basically out through the transmission casing, and in this case there's a huge hole here. And people do panic and say, well, oh gosh, I'll have to scrap it, and they're nearly impossible to get. But if you look here, there's, in the casing, there is room for a bearing, and these should have bearings fitted, but they don't. None of them have. They just basically run on grease, and metal on metal wears through housings. That's what happens. So all you have to do is get a bearing for each side of the casing. You know, split the transmission in two, and you don't need to take off the top pulley. I mean, this guy now has taken off the top pulley, but there's no need for that. And this applies to a lot of these lawnmowers, Husqvarnas, as I say, Murray, Westwood, Mountfield, MTD, lots of these transmissions, and people simply cannot get a replacement box for them. They're just impossible to get, and these lawnmowers are perfect. The engines are Briggs & Stratton, and they are brilliant engines if they're maintained and serviced regularly, you know. So all you have to do here is get the bearing for it, and the bearing that goes on these is probably Imperial, but I've got the metric one here. Well, I've got the one we got from the bearing centre, and the bearing is EFG, and the part number is 6. I'll move in on it there. It's 6203/12/2RS, and it's the outer diameter of the bearing is 40 mil, and the inner diameter of the bearing, as far as I remember, well, it's the same as the shaft. It's around 18. It's 18, and it's nearly 19 mil, but it's probably 18 and a half. And you know, and then the thickness of this bearing is, gosh, roughly that is now it's around 12 mil. But this is the bearing here, and this is the part number. So if you Google it up, you'll find what you need. And all you have to do is split the box and replace this. Now, there's a few things to be careful about. Do not lose the bearing out of the lever for the gear lever. There's a small bearing at the top of that, so be careful. Sometimes it falls out into the grease. So we have it over here actually, and yeah. So that's the bearing, and that's the gear lever there, select lever. Now also, when you're putting this back together, there is a kind of a guard here that goes on the back here, but in the past I've had trouble with these, and I've had to remove them, and they are not in a lot of them. It will crack the casing if you're not careful. So I just remove them and leave them out. Fill them with fresh grease. Another thing you've got to be careful about is these copper bushes. They have to be they're splined, and they have to be round the right size for the outer casing when it goes down on top of it. So there's no because if you tighten up the casing, you will crack these cases, because they're just aluminum and they're very brittle. They're very easy to break. So you've got to be very careful putting it back. Make sure everything is in right. So there's the bearing fitted there. If you can get, these are a funny seal, so, but it doesn't really matter anymore, because now the bearing is taking all the brunt of the weight and everything. You don't have to worry about the the outer casing here, because when it's back together, the other part of the casing will take a lot of the weight. You can just get some JB weld and fill that in.